Everyone, you're here tonight at this very moment because something within you is calling. It's that deep inner voice, the one that's always been there, guiding you back to who you truly are. It's been with you through the years, through the highs and the lows, through every challenge and every triumph. You see, we often think of God as being distant, as being somewhere out there, beyond our reach, far from us. But what if I told you that God is not out there somewhere, waiting to receive your return? What if I told you that God is within you, and has been waiting for you to return to yourself all along? The truth is, you are an extension of the divine. Every single thought you think, every feeling you experience, every choice you make, is creating the reality around you. And the beauty of it is, you hold the power to transform that reality at any moment. But to do so, you must return to the truth of who you really are, not the story you've been telling yourself about who you are. How many times have we searched for meaning outside of ourselves? We look for answers in the world, in relationships, in our careers, or in possessions. But no matter how much we achieve or acquire, there's always this sense of something missing. This inner hunger that refuses to be fed by the material world. And here's the secret. What you're searching for is not outside of you. It never was. It is already within you, patiently waiting for you to remember. Remember that you are not your circumstances. You are not your past. You are not the mistakes you've made or the pain you've endured. You are a powerful being of light, love, and infinite potential, designed to create and to evolve. God is within you, waiting for you to wake up to your true power. The divine is calling you to step out of the illusion of separation, to reconnect with the part of you that is connected to everything. You are not separate from the whole, you are an integral part of it. The moment you start to understand that, everything shifts, but to make this return, it requires one thing from you, presence. You see, the mind loves to distract us. It likes to keep us looking backward at the past or forward at the future, keeping us disconnected from the only moment that truly matters, the present. When you are truly present, you align with your higher self, the divine essence within you, and that's when transformation happens. The moment you take your focus off of what is outside of you, the moment you let go of your past stories and limitations, that's when God, the universe, or whatever you choose to call it, can enter your life. That's when you become a vessel for the divine. And let me tell you, when you begin to live from that place, miracles start to happen. God is waiting for your return because you've never actually left. The moment you return to your true self, to your inner divinity, everything around you changes. Your relationships, your health, your circumstances, they all shift because they are a reflection of you. So today, I want you to ask yourself this question: how will you return? Will you return to the truth of who you are? Will you step into your power, trust in your potential, and live as the person you were always meant to be? Will you remember that God has been with you every step of the way, not waiting for you to come back to Him, but waiting for you to come back to yourself? You are the key to your own transformation. And when you realize that, when you stop searching outside and start listening within, you'll see that you are already home. You are an extension of the divine. This simple yet profound truth invites you to recognize that you are not merely a separate entity, struggling through life alone. Instead, you are inherently connected to a higher power, an infinite source that is woven into every fiber of your being. When you realize this, everything about your existence begins to shift. We often think of the divine as something external, something separate from ourselves. We may picture God as an entity sitting high in the heavens, waiting to judge or bless. But in reality, the divine is not separate from you. It is asterisk within asterisk you. It flows through every cell of your body, every thought you think, and every breath you take. You are an expression of this greater energy, a unique manifestation of the universal source. This understanding changes everything about how you view your life. When you embrace the idea that you are a direct extension of the divine, you begin to see yourself in a completely new light. You are not simply a body or a personality shaped by external influences. You are a powerful, divine being with the capacity to create, to heal, and to transform. This recognition also means that your potential is limitless. Just as the divine is infinite, so too are your possibilities. You are not confined by your circumstances, your past, or the limitations of your mind. Your true nature is boundless, and it is through reconnecting with that divine essence within you that you unlock your fullest potential. By embracing your connection to this higher source, you can step into a life of purpose, creation, and profound transformation. God is not out there, God is within you. This powerful realization challenges the way many of us have been conditioned to view the divine. We are often taught to look beyond ourselves for answers, for guidance, or for meaning, believing that God is something distant, unreachable, and external. We pray, we seek, and we yearn for a connection that feels far away, assuming that the divine is somewhere up in the sky or beyond our immediate reach. However, this perspective keeps us disconnected from the truth. The divine is not somewhere outside of us, waiting for us to find it. It is already within us, present in every moment, in every breath we take. The divine essence that we often search for externally is already embedded in our very being, woven into the fabric of our existence. When we start to understand this, it radically shifts our perception of reality. We stop seeing ourselves as separate from the divine and recognize that we are an intrinsic part of it. The divinity that we seek is not out there in some far-off place. It is alive within us, within our thoughts, our emotions, and the core of our being. This realization allows us to feel connected, grounded, and powerful, because we know that the source of all creation is not something that needs to be found, but something that we already carry within us. Living from this awareness changes the way we navigate life. Instead of feeling helpless or disconnected, we begin to trust that the divine intelligence that created the universe also resides within us. We become co-creators of our lives, aligned with the divine flow that guides us toward our highest potential. The power to transform your life is already inside of you. This is not an abstract concept. It is a fundamental truth that lies within every human being. For most of us, the idea of transformation can feel overwhelming. We often look to external circumstances or people, hoping for change or seeking validation, not realizing that true and lasting change comes from within. The power to reshape your life, to heal, to evolve, is not something you need to seek externally. It's already part of who you are. When you begin to understand this, you realize that your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape your reality. Every action, every decision you make is influenced by the internal world you've created. This internal world, the way you think, feel, and perceive the world around you, creates the patterns and habits that define your life. By transforming this inner world, you begin to transform your outer world. The key lies in your ability to shift your mindset, challenge limiting beliefs, and consciously choose how you respond to situations and circumstances. Your ability to change is infinite because the capacity for transformation exists in every moment. You are not bound by past mistakes or the limitations you've placed on yourself. Every moment offers a new opportunity for growth and change, and the power to tap into that potential exists within you right now. This power is not something you must wait for, or something that will be given to you. It is something you can access at any time. It is your birthright, a gift of your existence, and when you begin to recognize this, your ability to create and shape your life becomes boundless. You are not defined by your past or circumstances. It's easy to believe that who you've been is who you must continue to be, that the pain, failures, or limitations of yesterday have the final say in shaping your identity. But that belief is an illusion, one that keeps you tethered to patterns and experiences that no longer serve you. The truth is, every moment offers the chance to redefine yourself, not based on what has happened, but based on who you choose to become. Your past is a series of events and decisions, but it is not your identity. Circumstances are temporary, but the essence of who you are is eternal. When you over-identify with your history, you give it power over your future. You begin to say things like, "I've always been this way," or "That's just who I am," not realizing that you are reaffirming an outdated version of yourself. The divine within you does not dwell in the past. It lives in the now, in the possibility of who you are capable of becoming when you step beyond what you think defines you. Transformation begins when you stop rehearsing your limitations and start embodying your potential. The moment you choose to stop identifying with your wounds and start identifying with your healing, you tap into a creative power far greater than your past. Your experiences may have shaped your perspective, but they do not own your identity. You are not here to relive the same story. You are here to awaken to a deeper truth, one that reminds you that you are greater than any circumstance, stronger than any setback, and far more expansive than any narrative your past has written for you. True fulfillment comes from within, not external possessions or achievements. We live in a world that constantly tells us otherwise. From an early age, we are conditioned to believe that happiness is something to be earned, chased, or acquired through status, wealth, relationships, or recognition. And yet, even when we attain those things, there remains a quiet emptiness, a sense that something essential is still missing. That's because what we're searching for isn't outside of us. It never has been. Fulfillment is not a destination, it's a state of being. It arises when we are in alignment with our true self, when our thoughts, emotions, and actions are rooted in authenticity and presence. When we look to the external world to fill the internal void, we enter a cycle of endless seeking. We become dependent on circumstances to feel whole, basing our worth on things that can change, fade, or disappear. But the deeper truth is that lasting fulfillment is a reflection of the relationship we have with ourselves. The inner world governs how we experience the outer world. When we are at peace internally, even the simplest moments become rich with meaning. When we feel connected to who we are at our core beyond roles, titles, and expectations, we experience a deep sense of purpose and joy that no external success can replicate. This inner fulfillment is not something that can be given to us. It's something we must awaken within ourselves. As we begin to turn inward and quiet the noise of the world, we start to feel that stillness, that presence, that deep knowing. It's here that we realize the treasures we've been chasing were never outside of us. They were waiting to be discovered in the one place we rarely look, within. God is waiting for you to return to your true self, not the version of you shaped by fear, doubt, or external expectations, but the deeper self that existed before the world told you who you were supposed to be. That self is not lost. It's simply been buried beneath layers of conditioning, roles, and survival patterns. The divine within you has never stopped calling you back to that original, pure essence. It's a quiet, persistent voice beneath the noise, patiently waiting for you to remember. We often think of returning to God as a religious act, a ritual, or a set of external practices. But the return is actually internal. It's the moment you stop running from yourself. It's the decision to stop searching for love, worth, and purpose in places that can never fully give them to you. It's the shift from looking outward for validation to looking inward for truth. The divine is not asking for perfection. It is inviting you to be real, to be whole, to be present. This return is not about becoming something new. It's about shedding what is false. It's about letting go of the stories that say you're not enough, not worthy, or too broken to be whole. It's about remembering that who you are, at your core, is already sacred. There is no distance between you and the divine, only the illusion of separation created by the mind. The moment you begin to release that illusion, you start to feel the presence that has always been with you. Returning to your true self is the most powerful act of devotion you can offer. It is how you align with your purpose, how you reconnect with love, and how you remember the infinite source from which you came. Presence is the key to reconnecting with your divine essence. In a world that thrives on distraction, urgency, and noise, the ability to be fully here in this moment is one of the most profound spiritual acts you can perform. We often live caught between the past and the future, replaying memories, regrets, and wounds, or projecting fears, desires, and expectations into what's to come. In doing so, we lose connection to the only place where transformation can actually occur, the present moment. The divine does not dwell in the memories of yesterday or the worries of tomorrow. It lives now. It speaks in stillness, in the space between your thoughts, in the rhythm of your breath, in the quiet awareness that watches without judgment. When you become present, even for a few moments, you drop beneath the surface of mental chatter and reconnect with the truth of who you are. You begin to sense the intelligence guiding your heartbeat, the silence that holds all things, the presence that was never separate from you. Presence dissolves illusion. It melts away the masks and identities you've clung to out of habit or fear. It reveals the soul beneath the story, the light beneath the labels. In presence, there is no striving, no proving, no needing to become. There is only being, and in that state of being, the divine flows freely through you. It's not about effort, it's about surrender. It's about returning to what is real, what is eternal, what has always been. The more you practice presence, the more natural it becomes. And with each moment of awareness, you deepen your connection to the source within you. This is where clarity arises, where healing begins, and where you come back into alignment with the sacred intelligence that is your truest nature. The mind keeps you distracted from the present moment. It is constantly spinning, constantly analyzing, projecting, remembering, comparing. It jumps from thought to thought, rarely allowing you to settle into the stillness of now. This constant mental activity becomes the lens through which you perceive reality, and that lens is often clouded by fear, doubt, conditioning, and past experiences. While the mind is a powerful tool, it can easily become a trap if left unchecked. It convinces you that fulfillment is always somewhere in the future, or that peace is only possible when all your problems are solved. But the truth is, the only place where peace can exist is the present moment. The mind resists this truth because it thrives on movement, distraction, and identification. It tells you that you need more information, more time, more control. It feeds on your attention and often keeps you locked in loops of overthinking and emotional reactivity. These loops create a false sense of self, a version of you shaped by your thoughts rather than by your true being. The divine cannot be experienced through mental noise. It reveals itself in silence, in awareness, in presence. The more entangled you are in the mind's constant stream of thought, the more distant you feel from that sacred stillness within. This is not because the divine is far away, but because your awareness has been pulled away from it. The mind can act like a veil, a constant filter that separates you from direct experience. By recognizing the mind's patterns and gently returning your focus to the now, you begin to quiet the noise. You start to witness rather than react, observe rather than identify, and in that spaciousness, the deeper part of you begins to emerge, the part untouched by time, thought, or form. When you align with your higher self, miracles happen. Your higher self is not some distant, idealized version of you. It is the most authentic, expansive part of you that has never been touched by fear, doubt, or limitation. It is the part of you that knows your purpose, that understands your worth, and that operates not from survival but from creation. This alignment does not come through effort or striving. It comes through allowing, through surrendering the false identities you've adopted and returning to the truth of who you are beneath the noise. Most people live out of alignment without even realizing it. They make choices based on fear, scarcity, or the expectations of others. They stay stuck in cycles that drain their energy because they are disconnected from the inner guidance that always knows the way forward. When you are aligned with your higher self, you no longer act from habit or fear. You begin to move through life with clarity, intention, and a quiet sense of power. Your decisions become inspired, your timing becomes precise. Your actions carry a different energy, one that resonates with truth. In this state of alignment, life begins to respond differently. Opportunities show up seemingly out of nowhere, relationships deepen, healing accelerates, creativity flows effortlessly. These are not coincidences, they are reflections of the inner shift that has occurred. When you live from your higher self, you are in harmony with the intelligence of the universe. You become magnetic to the experiences that match your elevated frequency. What once felt out of reach begins to unfold with ease, not because life suddenly changed, but because you did. You return to the part of you that was never lost, the part that already holds the blueprint for your highest expression. Your life reflects who you believe you are. Every thought, every emotion, every choice is rooted in your identity, the internal story you carry about yourself. This story, often unconscious, shapes your perception of the world and dictates how you respond to it. If you believe you are unworthy, life will mirror back situations that reinforce that belief. If you believe you are powerful, capable, and connected to something greater, your experiences will begin to reflect that deeper truth. The world outside is a reflection of the world within. We are not always aware of how these beliefs were formed. Many were shaped in childhood, absorbed from others, or created through painful experiences. Over time, they become the lens through which you interpret everything. You start to live on autopilot, attracting people and circumstances that validate your inner narrative, whether it is one of lack or one of abundance. This cycle continues until you pause and ask, who do I believe I am? And is that belief aligned with my truth or with my history? The divine part of you has never forgotten your worth. It holds the original blueprint of your wholeness, even when your conscious mind does not. When you begin to shift your inner beliefs, your outer life starts to shift with them. This is not about pretending or positive thinking alone. It's about embodying a new identity, one that reflects your divine nature rather than your wounded self. The more you align your inner world with the truth of your being, the more your life transforms to match it. Everything you seek externally is already being shaped by the energy you hold internally. Change your self-perception, and the world around you begins to change in ways that feel guided, natural, and deeply aligned.